Well, it's great to be among my former fellow fetuses. In fact, I did a quick calculation, and I'll be celebrating my 765th month of gestation in just 13 days. So thank you for that recognition, but just send donations to Oregon Right to Life in lieu of presents for me. As was said, I've been privileged to attend most of these rallies over the last quarter century, and they really are encouragements for all of us. You support me, and I try my best to do likewise. At the same time, there are forces about us that aren't happy that we're here. They're even less happy about the work that we do. Those forces collectively are called the culture of death. Now, many of you are veterans here and know a lot about the culture of death. Others might be a little newer to the movement and may not readily recognize the people who populate the death culture. So, as such, I've made a brief list of ways that you can help recognize these folks. You know you're a supporter of the culture of death if you say you're for choice, but run facilities where 49 out of 50 individual mothers end the life of their unborn and only one chooses adoption. You know you're a supporter of the culture of death if you express moral indignation about the death penalty, but fully support and even push for taxpayer-funded assisted suicide and abortion. I know these folks exist. I work with some of them. You know you're a supporter of the culture of death if you enthusiastically support embryonic stem cell research which reliably ends the life of one human and which yet has to help even one human, yet laugh at those in the scientific community like myself who would support and encourage vigorously adult stem cell research that has cured over 70 diseases and already is and continues to save countless thousands of lives. You know you're a supporter of the culture of death if you tell women that the daily ingestion of birth control hormones doesn't have any impact on their risk of breast cancer. Did you know the World Health Organization lists the combination estrogen-progesterone oral contraceptive as a carcinogen? You also know you're a supporter of the culture of death if you promise people that assisted suicide is a deliverance from suffering. Really? Think about it. How do you know? After all, most of us haven't experienced what happens to people after they take their own life. You know you are a supporter of the culture of death if you claim to want to protect conscience rights, as our president said at a speech at my alma mater, Notre Dame, yet you work to force doctors, nurses, pharmacists, as well as private religious hospitals to participate either directly or indirectly in providing abortion services. 10 days ago, the Obama administration and his pro-abortion minion, Kathleen Sebelius, did just that. Finally, you know you're a supporter of the culture of death if you lament the shrinking number of abortion providers and react by providing special grants to support fellowship and residency training to fill the void. Did you know that Warren Buffett has spent $3 billion doing just that? While some might see such sad behaviors as a cause for discouragement, I do not. In fact, each of these aspects of the culture of death is reflective of its deepening desperation. It is desperate because it is losing and increasingly strident and ineffective. It is losing because hearts and minds are changing. Consider the following. For 3 straight years, more than 50% of Americans believe that abortion is morally wrong. Only 39% believe it's a morally acceptable practice. The same Gallup poll indicates that over the past 2 decades, Americans have favored making abortion legal only in a few or even no circumstances. A Kaiser poll this year notes that 61% of Americans oppose public funding for abortion when a woman can't afford it. Obama, Bonamici, and other similar politicians may continue to tout their pro-abortion credentials to appease their base, but others, as in recently televised debates, find politicians competing and arguing for who is the most pro-life. Why do they do this? Well, as the Archbishop aptly said, increasingly ultrasound, both traditional and 3D ultrasound, like my son bought his wife for their baby just a few months ago, baby pictures. And women, almost 100% of women want their pictures, the baby's pictures, before the pregnancy is terminated. And as all of you know who participate in this event, there have been over 1,600 separate 40 Days for Life campaigns in the last 5 years, involving over 500,000 people. Thus far, 19 abortion mills have closed. Over 5,000 babies that we know of have been saved. 61 abortion workers have quit their jobs, and they've quit after being exposed to volunteers just like you who witness to the truth of the humanity of the unborn. All of this because a former pharmaceutical representative in College Station, Texas, David Rewright, just like Bill Diss, decided to do something about the killing of innocent unborn children. And so the next one, if you don't know it, starts February 26th. Go to 40daysforlife.com and sign up. Yes, we are indeed converting hearts. In fact, each one of you, by your very presence today, is a witness to the growing awareness that all human life, born or unborn, old or young, able or disabled, black or white, rich or poor, is inherently valuable. Blessed Mother Teresa of Calcutta knew this. In approaching the massive and seemingly impossible challenge of caring for the poorest of the poor in Calcutta, Mother Teresa said, "The needs are great. No one of us can do great things." On the other hand, she understood that each of us can do small things with great love, and together we can do something wonderful. Mother Teresa succeeded not only in Calcutta, but her work has expanded to over 133 countries. So as we leave here today, let each of us use our unique, God-given talents to do whatever small thing we can with great love as we collectively work to promote a culture of life.